Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
I used to have problems with breathing. For several years, I often got sick with lung problems like pneumonia. I got pneumonia 3 times, once each year. I felt tired and stressed most of the time. My old house needed many repairs and my job was difficult. I felt stuck and unwell, both in my body and my mind. We all breathe every second, but we usually don't think about how we breathe. We think breathing just happens, but the way we breathe is very important for our health. Many of us breathe in ways that are not good for us, but we don't know it. Doctors check our blood pressure and temperature. They ask about sleep and food, but they almost never check how we breathe. This important part of health is often forgotten. My doctor suggested I try a breathing class, so I found one in an old house. It felt a bit strange. We sat on the floor. A woman played a recording. A calm voice told us to close our eyes and breathe. We had to breathe slowly in through the nose, then slowly out. For the first 10 or 20 minutes, I felt nothing special. I was bored and thought about leaving, but then something surprising happened. When the class finished, I opened my eyes. I was completely wet with sweat. My hair was wet and my clothes were wet too, but the room was cool. I was confused. After the class, I felt very calm and relaxed. This good feeling lasted for a few days. It made me ask, how could just breathing for an hour do this to my body? This experience started a long journey for me. I needed to understand breathing. I started learning about the lost art of breathing. I learned that people who dive deep in the ocean without air tanks know a lot about breath control. They say breathing is like powerful medicine. Many old cultures also knew this. They had special ways to breathe to stay healthy and live long lives. But today, most of us have forgotten this important knowledge. Now, scientists are starting to study breathing again. They are finding that how we breathe affects everything: our sleep, our stress, our energy, and our health. This book is about my journey to learn about breathing. We will explore the science and the history. We will see how learning to breathe better can help us live better lives. But remember that it is not a medical advice. 2. Bad breathing habits. Many people today do not breathe well. One big reason is how our faces and mouths have changed over time. Compared to people long ago, our mouths are often smaller. This happened because we started eating softer foods. Soft food needs less chewing. Less chewing means the bones in our faces and jaws did not grow as strong or as large. A smaller mouth can mean there is less space for everything inside, including our airways and the passages in our nose. This makes it harder to breathe through the nose, so many people breathe through their mouths instead. Breathing through the mouth, especially all the time, is a bad habit. About half of us are mouth breathers often. This causes problems. To understand these problems better, an experiment took place at Stanford University. 2 men agreed to block their noses for 10 days. They put special plugs in their noses and covered them with tape. This meant they could only breathe through their mouths. They lived normally, eating, sleeping, and doing exercise, but always breathing through the mouth. Scientists watched what happened to their bodies. The results came very fast. After only a few hours of mouth breathing, the men felt bad effects. Their bodies felt more stressed. Tests showed their blood pressure went up. This is not healthy if it happens often. Their sleep was also much worse. They started snoring very loudly, much more than before. Sometimes they even stopped breathing for short times during sleep. This condition is called sleep apnea, and it is dangerous. They felt tired and found it hard to think clearly. They just felt awful all the time. These problems happened quickly, showing that mouth breathing is not good for us. Other studies found similar things. Scientists did experiments with monkeys many years ago. They blocked the monkeys' noses so they had to breathe through their mouths. The monkeys also developed problems. Their faces started to change shape in a bad way. Their teeth became crooked. Their mouths and airways changed, making breathing harder for them. These studies showed that mouth breathing does not just feel bad, it changes our bodies. Breathing through the mouth changes the way air moves into our body. It does not prepare the air like the nose does. Also, mouth breathing can make the parts at the back of our throat, the soft tissues, become loose. When these parts are loose, they can fall inwards. This makes the airway smaller. A smaller airway makes breathing more difficult. So mouth breathing can lead to even more mouth breathing because the airway gets worse. Nose breathing works differently. It helps keep the tissues in the throat strong and the airway open. This is why breathing through the nose is the healthy way for our bodies. 3. Your nose is important. Breathing through your nose is much better than breathing through your mouth. Your nose does important jobs that your mouth cannot do. It cleans the air you breathe. Tiny hairs inside your nose, called cilia, work with sticky mucus to catch dust and bad germs. This stops them from going into your lungs. Your nose also warms the air. Cold air can make your lungs feel bad. The nose heats the air to your body temperature before it reaches your lungs. It also adds moisture to the air. This makes it easier for your lungs to take in oxygen. Special structures inside your nose, called turbinates, help with all these jobs. Your nose has a secret rhythm. Your two nostrils do not work the same way all the time. They switch jobs every few hours. First, one nostril opens more while the other rests. Then they change. This is called the nasal cycle. It helps keep your body balanced. Breathing through your right nostril wakes your body up a bit more. Breathing through your left nostril helps your body relax. This natural cycle helps control your body temperature and blood pressure. It even affects your mood and how you sleep. Your nose also makes a special gas called nitric oxide. This gas is very important for your health. It helps your blood vessels open wider. This means blood can travel more easily around your body. Nitric oxide helps oxygen get from your blood into your cells where it is needed. When you breathe through your nose, your body gets much more nitric oxide than when you breathe through your mouth. Nose breathing also helps you absorb about 18% more oxygen from the air. After 10 days of only breathing through the mouth in the experiment, breathing through the nose again felt amazing. The change was very fast. Blood pressure went down. Heart rate became normal. Snoring stopped completely after just 2 nights. Sleeping was much better. The bad feelings from mouth breathing went away. Breathing through the nose helped the body return to a healthy balance very quickly. Many years ago, a man named George Catlin learned how important nose breathing is. He was an artist who traveled and lived with Native American tribes in the 1800s. He saw that these people were very strong and healthy. They had straight teeth and wide faces. Catlin noticed they always breathed through their noses. They believed mouth breathing made people weak and sick. Mothers carefully closed their babies' mouths after feeding to teach them nose breathing. Catlin tried nose breathing himself. He had been sick for a long time. After he started breathing through his nose all the time, his health got much better. He lived a long life. Some people have trouble breathing through their nose, especially at night. Their mouth might open while they sleep. A simple way to help keep the mouth closed is mouth taping. Dentists like Dr. Mark Barhen and doctors like Ann Carney suggest this. You just put a small piece of special gentle tape over the center of your lips before sleep. This encourages your nose to stay open and work properly. It helps you get all the benefits of nose breathing while you sleep. 4. Breathe out fully. How long you live might depend on your lungs. Studies show that people with bigger, stronger lungs often live longer. People with smaller lungs may get sick more easily and live shorter lives. Our lungs usually get smaller as we get older after age 30. This can make breathing harder. But this does not have to happen. We can keep our lungs strong and even make them bigger. Some simple exercises help. Special stretches, like some old ones from Tibet, can make the chest and lungs more flexible. Even regular walking or cycling can make your lungs bigger. People who dive deep underwater without air tanks learn to make their lungs much bigger by training their bodies to breathe better. One man who knew a lot about breathing was Carl Stuff. He was not a doctor, but he helped many people breathe better by focusing on breathing out. Stuff first worked with singers. He saw that breathing out fully was very important. When singers breathed out well, their voices got stronger. Stuff learned that breathing out fully was key for everyone. He started to help people who were very sick with a lung problem called emphysema. This illness makes it very hard to breathe because the lungs are damaged. People with emphysema often feel like they cannot get enough air. Stuff found their main problem was breathing out. They could not get the old, stale air out of their lungs. To breathe well, we use a big muscle under our lungs called the diaphragm. It moves down when we breathe in, filling our lungs with air. It moves up when we breathe out, pushing the air out. It works like a pump and helps move blood too, so some people call the diaphragm the second heart. Most people only use a small part of this muscle when they breathe. People with emphysema used it even less. Their diaphragm muscle was weak. Stuff taught these sick people how to breathe out completely. He used gentle touch and helped them practice long, slow exhales. This trained their diaphragm muscle to work properly again. Soon, the patients could breathe more easily. They felt better and could do more. X-rays showed their lungs were working better and their diaphragm was moving more. Stuff also helped top athletes. He taught Olympic runners his method, called breathing coordination. He showed them how to breathe out fully. This helped them use their energy better. The runners felt stronger and recovered faster. They started breaking records and winning gold medals. So, breathing out is just as important as breathing in. Learning to exhale fully helps make our lungs stronger, improves health, and helps athletes perform better. It is a simple but powerful part of breathing well. 5. Breathe slow. Many people believe that breathing more air or breathing faster is always better for them. However, this idea is often incorrect. Breathing slower is usually much healthier for our bodies. When we breathe too quickly, it can make us feel tired, weak, or stressed. Taking slow, calm breaths helps our body and mind to relax. We learn that oxygen is very important gas from the air. It gives our cells energy to live. But there is another gas, carbon dioxide, CO2, which is also extremely important. We make CO2 inside our bodies and we breathe it out. But our body must keep the right amount of CO2 inside all the time to work well. Why is CO2 so important? It plays a key role in helping oxygen do its work. Oxygen travels through our body in the blood, but it needs help to get out of the blood and into our body parts like muscles and organs where it is needed. CO2 provides this help. A Danish scientist named Christian Bauer found that where there is more CO2, oxygen leaves the blood more easily. This is called the Bauer effect. It ensures that oxygen goes where the body is working hardest. Breathing too fast is a common modern problem. This is called overbreathing or hyperventilation. When we overbreathe, we blow out too much CO2. Our body then has too little CO2. Without enough CO2, oxygen stays stuck to the blood cells. It cannot get delivered effectively to our tissues, even if the blood has plenty of oxygen. Overbreathing can make us feel lightheaded, dizzy, or anxious. We might feel tingling in our hands or feet. Doing this for a long time can cause serious health issues. So, what is the ideal speed for breathing when we are resting? Research shows that breathing about 5.5 times per minute is very beneficial. This means breathing in gently for about 5.5 seconds and breathing out gently for 5.5 seconds. This rate is much slower than the typical breathing rate of 12 to 20 breaths per minute. This knowledge about slow breathing is ancient wisdom. For thousands of years, people in many different cultures have used slow breathing patterns during prayer and meditation. Examples include Christian rosary prayers, Buddhist chants, and Hindu practices. These practices naturally guide people to breathe around this ideal rate. Today, this practice is sometimes called coherent breathing because it helps the heart, lungs, and brain work together in a balanced way. The benefits of breathing slowly and calmly are significant. It helps to reduce feelings of stress and anxiety. It can lower high blood pressure. It helps our nervous system to be calm. Practicing this perfect breathing for just a few minutes each day is free and easy and can greatly improve our physical and mental health. 6. Breathe less air. Many people eat too much food today. In the same way, many people also breathe too much air. Doctors think a normal breathing rate is between 12 and 20 breaths every minute, but maybe this is too much. Some studies show people breathed less in the past. Breathing too much might not be good for us. A doctor from Ukraine named Konstantin Butiko noticed something interesting. He saw that very sick people often breathed very heavily. People with problems like asthma or high blood pressure took many big breaths. Butiko himself was very sick with high blood pressure. One night he tried breathing less air very gently. His pain went away. When he breathed heavily again, the pain came back. Butiko thought that maybe breathing too much made people sick. He believed breathing less could make people healthy again. Why is breathing less good? It helps keep the right amount of carbon dioxide in our body. We learned before that carbon dioxide helps oxygen get from our blood to our body parts. When we breathe too much, we lose too much carbon dioxide. Breathing less helps our body use oxygen better. Some athletes learn to breathe less to become stronger. A famous runner named Emil Zatopek trained himself to hold his breath while running very fast. People laughed at his strange style, but he won many Olympic gold medals. This way of training is called hypoventilation training. It means breathing less air than normal during exercise. Studies show this training helps athletes have more energy and endurance. It works like training high up in the mountains where there is less oxygen. Your body learns to use oxygen better. This ability is measured by VO2 max, and breathing less can increase it. Breathing less can also help people with health problems. Buteyko found his methods helped many people with asthma. When people with asthma learn to breathe less, they often have fewer attacks. They may need less medicine. Some studies show these results too. Buteyko thought that maybe an asthma attack was the body trying to protect itself by making breathing slower and smaller. How can you know if you breathe too much? Buteyko made a simple test called the control pause. You breathe out normally, hold your nose, and time how long you can hold your breath before you feel the first real need to breathe in. It is not about holding your breath for a very long time until you must gasp for air. It is about how long you feel comfortable. This test shows how well your body handles carbon dioxide. Practicing breathing less can help increase this time and improve health. 7. Chew your food. How we breathe is connected to how we eat. Today, much of our food is soft. We eat bread, pasta, and foods from cans and jars. This is different from the food people ate long ago. Eating soft food means we do not chew very much. This lack of chewing changes our bodies. When children grow up eating only soft foods, their mouths and jaws do not grow strong. The bones in the face need exercise, like the muscles in our arms and legs. Chewing is the exercise for the face. Without enough chewing, mouths can become too small. When the mouth is too small, there is not enough room for all the teeth. This is why many people today have crooked teeth. A smaller mouth also means smaller airways. The airways are the paths that air travels through in your nose and throat to get to your lungs. If these paths are narrow, it is harder to breathe, especially through the nose. This can lead to problems like snoring and mouth breathing. A researcher named Weston Price traveled the world many years ago. He studied people who ate traditional diets. These diets often had harder foods that needed lots of chewing. Price saw that these people usually had wide faces, strong jaws, and straight teeth. They did not have the breathing problems common today. When people in these same groups started eating modern, soft foods, their children often developed smaller mouths and crooked teeth. Chewing hard food helps the face bones grow strong and wide. This makes more space for teeth and helps keep airways open. This idea is very important for children when they are growing, but can adults change their mouths and airways? Some experts believe it is possible. John Mew, a dentist in England, studied how faces grow. He believed that the way we hold our tongue is important. Keeping the tongue up against the roof of the mouth can help facial shape. People call this idea mewing. It helps remind us to use our mouths correctly. Another dentist, Theodore Belfer, also thinks adults can improve their face shape. He believes that putting stress on the face bones, like the stress from chewing, can help new bone grow. He created a special device called the homeo block. People wear this device in their mouths, usually at night. Belfer says it helps to gently push the mouth wider and encourages the face bones to grow, making more room for breathing even in adults. Chewing more or using devices that copy chewing might help us build better airways. 8. Breathe better, live better. We learned many important things about breathing. How we breathe is very important for our health, but many people don't think about it. We learned that we should always try to breathe through our nose, not our mouth. The nose cleans and warms the air for our bodies. Breathing through the mouth can cause problems like snoring and sleep apnea. We also learned that breathing out fully is important. Using our diaphragm muscle helps push out all the old air. This makes space for fresh air. Breathing slowly is also very good for us. Many old traditions teach slow breathing. It helps us relax and can lower our blood pressure. About 5.5 breaths every minute is a very healthy speed. We also discovered that breathing less air can be better. Most people breathe too much. Breathing less helps our bodies use oxygen better. Finally, we learned that chewing our food well is important. Chewing helps our face and mouth grow strong and keeps our airways open. Eating soft food all the time can make our mouth small and cause breathing problems. Remember the experiment at Stanford University. When the breathing changed from the mouth back to the nose and became slower and lighter, many problems quickly got better. Snoring stopped, sleep improved, blood pressure went down, stress levels became lower. This shows how fast we can feel better when we breathe better. Breathing is just as important as eating healthy food and exercising. It is a key part of being healthy, but many people forget about breathing. The good news is that we can change how we breathe. There is even an idea of a perfect breath. This breath is about 5.5 seconds breathing in and 5.5 seconds breathing out. Breathing like this helps our body work in the best way. It makes the heart, lungs, and blood circulation work together well. The best thing about breathing better is that it is free. We don't need special machines or expensive classes. We have the power to change our breathing anytime, anywhere. Our breath is always with us. By paying attention to how we breathe, we can make simple changes. These changes can help us feel better, have more energy, and live a healthier life. Breathing is a simple tool, but it is very powerful. It can help us live better every day. What is one small change you can try with your breathing today?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.